It was clear to see that the reputation was actually damaged. You know, the perception of the school was not well perceived. Therefore, we decided that the researching, finding out why the perception is not that good and the reasons why people are not attending the school was the main focus. Therefore, first of all, we conducted 5 interviews with Craster King's peer schools, and then just finding out which school the Year 5s and Year 6s were actually going to.
These are the feeder schools?
Yeah, the feeder schools, yeah. The reason, like why they were going to that school. Then we asked them like the perception of Craster King, and then if it was like a negative reaction to the question, we were asked them why do you think they've got like a negative reputation. I think this just gives us an insight of what the potential pupils that they might actually have, what the potential problems that the school actually have at the moment, and how they could address it in order to attract more students. And then from the responses, which allowed us to basically gather data, and with that data gathered, we were allowed to go back to Craster King and say, this is what this is what the conclusion is.
These are the perceptions then. This was qualitative research then. Yeah.
And then from that, allowed us to basically move forward into coming up with new tactics that the school should use in order to change the perception.
What were some of the challenges that you overcame?
The first challenge was actually communicating, speaking to the schools in the first place. It's like when we first rang the schools, the response element was pretty bad. I think we only got one school that's actually willing to interview us straight away. But occasionally, after being persistent and calling them more than once, we managed to get 3 more schools on board. So altogether, we interviewed 5 schools, but we only interviewed one of them straight away. The others we had to we kept calling them all the time, and then eventually they said yes.
So you really had to be persistent.
Yeah. You know, if we gave up on the first hurdle, then we've not I've achieved what we've achieved now. But we were just persistent, carried on calling them, saying it was for a good cause, for Craster King, you know. And then, but actually in the interviews, I found that challenging how some of the pupils weren't willing to speak. So I think when we went there, maybe introducing ourselves, telling them what we're here for, and we found out the reactive when we were friendly with the pupils, we got a better response. But also what was also challenging was we found out when there was a teacher watching them, they were a bit more reluctant to actually giving out information. But obviously the ones that were just left supervised, we found that we got a better response with them. But I think we just tried to also change the questions. If we asked a question which had no response, we would ask them in a different manner, which we got a response. But overall, I think the overall response was positive. Maybe I think only one school, it felt like the pupils just weren't willing to talk. But generally, I think the response was very. I think the challenge we overcame the challenge.